All right, I just finished the driver front air strut. Took about an hour and 7 minutes. Ran into an issue that I had last time that I just plumb wasn't thinking and forgot to do. So, to remove your old ones, whether it's factory or whether you've got coilover ends, you'll pull this back and up under here. Get the 3 bolts. The 3 nuts that go onto the bolts there, and then you're going to have a big center nut as well. It's going to look like that. Where the damn light is. This piece is what's going to be up underneath of there. That's what's going to center it and hold it all in. And this bolt goes on top of your front strut. Obviously, I don't have any of that stuff in there anymore because it's not needed. Your new setup, it's all gonna be one piece, including a spacer. So remove all that. Oh, and then you're gonna take off that nut right there. That's holding the clamp around your strut. You're gonna take off those 3, and then take out your bolts holding your CV joint in. Some guys take this one off to pull the whole hub. I find it's just as quick and easy to go the other way. You will need an M10, M as in Michael Myers, to remove those back there. You can buy those at any automotive store. Take those off. Loosen this up. You're gonna need a spreader. Now this came with my coilover kit. I don't know why they didn't send one with this kit, but it does not come with it. So if you do not have a spreader, you're gonna have to get one. And it goes right back here into this gap right there. And as you can see, you just stick a wrench, turn it 90 degrees, opens it right up. Now, I say opens it right up, that does not mean this is going to come out of there easily. You may have to work a little bit. And getting the new one in can be a little bit of a headache as well, but what I find is easiest is to install this into here before you do anything up there. That's the easy part. So what I basically did is I took a little bit of sandpaper and cleaned the inside of this mount out. I smoothed out and cleaned some of the paint off from your new strut. And then I took some good old Aquaphor, which is great for tattoos, but it's also great for lubricating things. So I coated the inside real good. I'm sure you can still see some of that on there, and that's fine. And instead of beating the shit out of the top of that thing, messing it all up, messing your threads up and everything else for if you ever got to mess with it, take a socket. I grabbed the wrong one. Nice big socket. And you're going to put it over that and then tap the back of your socket. These sockets are durable as shit. As long as you're not buying cheap ones made for Harbor Freight or something like that. I don't know how those would hold up, but you just tap, 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 tap. And that is going to slide down in there until that reaches the bottom groove. So once you got that in, you can go ahead and remove your spacer that opens that up. Put your nut back in, put your bolt back on, or your bolt back in and your nut back on. Tighten all that down. And I just stuck a jack under here. Started jacking up until everything came up into line up top. Sorry, I'm not a great cameraman. Now these aren't in a perfect triangle. The two to the inside of the car are going to be closer together than the one on the outside. So before you stick that up in there, make sure you've got it set up right. And then slowly start jacking it up until you get it there. and you can kind of guide them up through the hole. Once you get those on there, that's pretty self-explanatory. Throw your washer and your lock washer and nut back on there. Tighten those all down. Then you'll go back down, slide your CV joint back in, tighten those up one by one. Make sure those are nice and snug. I promise you do not you do not want to get ahead of yourself and get all excited in a hurry and forget that. Then you'll go back down here, tighten those three back up. Make sure everything's nice and tight, because if you drive your car the way I drive my car, generally I drive it pretty nice. But sometimes when I'm with the club, we get a little antsy and we get on it. So you don't want anything coming loose when you're getting on it. For my airline, there was already a factory hole up here, and it was a tiny little bastard. So I went ahead and drilled it out to a 1/2 inch. Fit in there nice and snug right through there. And I just hooked my airline right into it. And obviously, we'll end up putting this down a little bit. We'll probably just zip tie it to that right there. Easiest thing, just to keep it out of the way. And that's all there is to the front. Trying to think of anything I could tell you that's going to make it easier for the guys that don't work on cars, might be intimidated by this, doing it themselves, just wanting to pay somebody else. And that's fine. You want to pay someone, you pay somebody. I don't trust people enough to really do things right. I even have problems with the damn dealership service doing stuff right, because they just replaced the factory harness, and don't ask me why, it's shit out. And I found 2 machine screws, black ones, sitting in this vent. I looked for 30-40 minutes, cannot figure out where the hell they took them out of, where the heck they go. So I've obviously got to go back to the dealership. They're not going to be happy that they're going to have to tear a bunch of shit apart, but they're going to figure out where those go, and they're going to put those back in there, because after all, that's their damn job. So anyways, that's the front end. I'm going to do the other one. We won't show you the other side because it's going to be exactly identical to this side. Yep, airlines are hooked up, everything's good. We'll throw the wheel back on this and we'll drop this beast of a car back down on the ground. We'll get this other side all hooked up. And once we've got that done, we'll move to the rear end. Once those done, hell, it's going to be fun time then. We're going to air it up for the first time, make sure we don't have any leaks. Word of advice, you be generous. I put at least 3 wraps minimum. If they fit pretty good, I put 3 wraps on, because I tell you what, I'd rather not have a leak and have to deal with that headache later. We're going to do something, let's do it right the first time. Make sure that we're not going to have any problems. So obviously I've got to throw everything in the back end. And in the next video, we're going to talk about just briefly how we assemble your rear bag, because Airlift, although they have some really great product, really great customer service, this is what they give you. A pretty basic diagram that reads like stereo instructions, and it's a one-off deal. They don't cover the different 3S, 3H, 3P. They don't cover the front air struts, obviously. You can see right there. And even on the rear ones, they don't show top hats on them, how to assemble them. Nowhere in anything does it tell you anything about that stuff. Now, they give you a nice book for the front strut installation. Really well written. A lot of great pictures, step by step. But for some reason, they don't give you one for the rear end. And maybe they think that everybody's going to understand it. Like I said, it is really easy, but if you don't know and you've never done it, you might be confused. So we'll go over that. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you found any of this helpful. If you thought I'm an idiot and I'm stupid, go ahead and hit the thumbs down button. Leave me a comment, tell me I'm an idiot. That's fine. We'll see you guys on episode 3.